sweatshirt, black pants. Unit, you got the air.
Oh, yeah.
Unit with the foot chase, you got the air.
Shots fired, bad phone. We got shots fired, shots fired.
Shots fired by the
Oh, we got shots fired. Get the ones over here. We got one in custody now.
One in custody, but any officers here?
Get the ambulance over here, 513.
All right, 513. Were any officers hit?
Negative.
We'll get fire wrong for you, 5-3. 10-4.
263, roll the ambulance for our, roll the ambulance.
5-3 and King, we'll get an ambulance going for you.
The totality of the evidence establishes the following. At the time of the shooting, Mr. Johnson was armed with a handgun. Mr. Johnson had run from an area where shots had recently been fired. Mr. Johnson resisted arrest, and Mr. Johnson ran into a public park and towards an occupied police vehicle that was arriving on the scene in that park.
There's been extensive creative writing by detectives in the police reports. They still persist in that Officer Hernandez fired because Ronald Johnson turned and pointed a weapon at him and was carrying a gun. That is absolutely not true. He never turned, he never pointed, and he was not carrying a gun. So the lies from the police officers and from the police department still persist.
With respect to the officer shooting Ronald Johnson in the back, the fact that the Officer Hernandez shot Ronald Johnson in the back is one of many factors that had to be carefully considered and evaluated. Even though Mr. Johnson was running away from Hernandez and other officers, he was running towards a police vehicle containing two other officers and unknown members of the public inside that park. Furthermore, Johnson could have easily turned around and quickly fired at the officers pursuing him, or even fired as he ran.
I think that they will see that Ronald Johnson was not carrying a weapon, that he was unarmed, that Officer Hernandez got out of his car, took a few steps, aimed and pointed directly at Ronald Johnson's back and fired 5 shots.
Based on the totality of the evidence in this case, and with the very, very careful analysis of the laws of the state of Illinois, it is our determination that no criminal charges will be filed against Officer Hernandez in connection with the shooting death of Ronald Johnson.
This is the brutal execution of 2 young African-American men who did not deserve to be shot. That's what these videos are. That's what they indicate. That's what this is. The videos are markedly different. It shows what I have said, that he is running away from the police, that he's unarmed, and they shoot him in his back.
Gale Black running southbound, King Day, sweatshirt, black pants. Unit, you got the air.
Oh, yeah.
Unit with the foot chase, you got the air.
Shots fired, bad phone. We got shots fired, shots fired.
Shots fired by the
Oh, we got shots fired. Get the ones over here. We got one in custody now.
One in custody, but any officers here?
Get the ambulance over here, 513.
All right, 5-3. Were any officers hit?
Negative.
We'll get fire wrong for you, 5-3. 10-4.
263, roll the ambulance for our, roll the ambulance.
5-3 and King, we'll get an ambulance going for you.
Today, I'm here to announce that the Department of Justice has opened an investigation into whether the Chicago Police Department has engaged in a pattern or practice of violations of the Constitution or federal law. Specifically, we will examine a number of issues related to the Chicago Police Department's use of force, including its use of deadly force, racial, ethnic, and other disparities in its use of force, and its accountability mechanisms, such as its disciplinary actions and its handling of allegations of misconduct. This investigation has been requested by a number of state and local officials and community leaders, but has been opened only after a preliminary review and careful consideration of how the Justice Department can best use our tools and our resources to meet Chicago's needs. In the coming months, this investigation will be conducted by experienced career attorneys from the Civil Rights Division with the assistance of the United States Attorney's Office for the Northern District of Illinois. They will conduct a thorough impartial and independent review of the allegations, and the team will meet with a broad cross-section of community members, city officials, and law enforcement command staff and officers to both explain our process and to hear from anyone who wishes to share information relevant to this investigation.